Hello, everyone. I am super excited to come to you today with an awesome teaching. We have heart specialist Courtney Jackson joining us again. And we will be talking about ways to be heart healthy naturally. So I am super excited. So I'm just going to give the floor over to Courtney and I'm going to just be quiet. There we go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in today. Um, I'd rather, instead of diving super deep into heart health, I'd rather like touch the surface of it basically. February is Heart Health Month, American Heart Health Month, whatever you want to call it. And we do things. You'll see me looking down at cards, so just warning you. But you'll see people doing things like wearing red on, I believe February 5th is the day, and they'll discuss, women's health as opposed to heart issues and so forth like that. But we have to do more than wearing red, just wearing red. So, worldwide, heart disease is the leading cause of death with almost 18 million deaths per year. And it's expected to rise to about 24 million by the year 2030. 80% of those deaths of people with heart disease are caused by heart attack or stroke specifically. Between the years 2015 and 2018, there were 126 million people in the United States with some form of heart disease. Of those people, 59% were Black women, 60% were Black men. And this is Black non Hispanic. If you add them, the numbers do go up. And there, with heart disease, many of the risk factors can be modified, such as like having more physical activity, not using tobacco, reducing your alcohol consumption, and then going off of alcohol altogether, and treating your diet. So, what I want to discuss is really want to focus on the fact that your body does provide some warning signs that your heart's in trouble. And some of those warning signs, if you have like things like congestive heart failure brewing under the surface, are shortness of breath with normal activities. So we're not talking about when you're trying to jog. We're not talking about you just did 30 minutes of aerobics. We're talking about normal stuff like getting up and trying to do laundry, walking around the supermarket. You experience shortness of breath because the heart is struggling to pump blood and fluid backs up into the lungs. You'll notice that that's a common theme. The heart struggling to pump blood efficiently throughout the body, and then fluid backs into the area where the heart can't pump efficiently. So you also have swelling of your feet, ankles, and legs, which is called edema. And that is fluid backup again as the heart struggles to pump to the lowest point of your body and back up and so forth. You may experience trouble sleeping flat, laying flat, and that again is due to fluid in the lungs. So you have a hard time breathing if you don't have pillows up under your head at night. So if you weigh yourself, another early warning sign is 3 or more pounds of weight gain per day. And this is fluid weight. It's usually fluid weight. And again, all dealing with the heart's ability to efficiently pump. Dry hacking cough that persists but doesn't bring anything up. You can also have a cough that produces white mucus or pinkish mucus or phlegm with blood in it. So that's another sign. You feel tired, your legs are in pain from walking. And then there are symptoms or signs or symptoms that we get from going to the doctor's office that let us know that our heart's in trouble. For example, when you go to the doctor's office and 2, 3, 4 visits, you have consistently elevated blood pressure. That lets you know that something's going on inside your body. You get blood work done, and the blood work shows that there is an issue with your kidneys. The kidneys and heart are connected. They work interchangeably in the body. When one is in trouble, it calls on the other. So if the heart's in trouble, it'll call on the kidneys. If the kidneys are in trouble, it'll call on the heart. And those two will basically overwork each other, going back and forth, pinging for help. Increased urination at night, sleep apnea, irregular heartbeats. And this could be where your heart beats fast, beats rapidly, or you feel like flutters in your chest. You just feel like your heart's not beating properly. So another sign that, people don't really pay attention to, two more that people don't really pay attention to: you don't sleep well, you're not getting enough sleep at night. And I mean, that could turn over into you being tired, but the tired's more related to your heart being able to get oxygen all over the place. But your sleep schedule's jacked. You're not getting the amount of sleep that you should be getting. And in addition to that, you're stressed all the time. You could be sleeping, but you're stressed all the time. You're stressed about your job, stressed at home, just stressed out most of the time. These are signals that something's wrong in your body. And if you don't take care of these things, then it's just like it's just going to keep spiraling out of control in your body. So with heart disease, while heart disease greatly impacts the heart, and the heart is, I want to call it a master muscle, because every other organ in the body needs your heart to work properly. There are additional risk factors with having heart disease. As I mentioned, the heart and the kidneys are connected. If you have heart disease, your heart disease can lead to kidney failure and damage due to lack of blood flow to the kidneys. And the kidney can't do its many jobs, which, regulating hormones or getting urination out of the body, which leads to more fluid in the body. So another is liver damage. And if the liver is damaged, the liver also has to deal with flushing fluid out of the body, among many other jobs that it actually performs. So heart disease doesn't just take down your heart, it takes other things down with it. So with that, it's important for you to pay attention to the signs that you're getting, that your body's in trouble, that your heart's in trouble. And one of the ways I like thought about it, and to convey it to people, is think of your body like a car. If you have a car, you drive, and you haven't gotten your brakes fixed, for example, in a while. So you start noticing it takes a little bit longer for your car to stop. That's early warning issue. So you got to apply more pressure. You got to nearly put the pedal to the floor for the car to come to a full stop. You ignore it, keep going, keep driving. That little bit of pressure turns to squealing when you press down on the brakes. Squealing turns to screaming when you press down on the brakes. And then if you keep going, the brakes just stop responding at all, and you keep going. So what could have been a quick fix, what could have been just brake pads, turns into, for example, rotors, brake pads. You might need to get your wheel bearings fixed or whatever. I am not a mechanic, so I do not know, but I do know that what was a $20 fix can turn into a $300 fix, a $400 fix, because you chose to ignore the signs and symptoms that there was an issue. This is the same with the body. When you see and feel and know that something's wrong and your doctor is telling you, your blood pressure is elevated and so forth, those are the times that you jump into action and start to remedy the situation. You can take steps at that point to heal your body. You can still take steps now. If you've been diagnosed with heart issues, if you've been diagnosed high blood pressure, and so forth, you can still take steps. A diagnosis doesn't mean it's too late. But you want to start by taking an honest and serious look at your diet. My recommendation is that for a week, just a week, Keep a journal. What are you eating? What are you drinking in a week? How many times are you consuming animal products, for example, during a week? How many times do you drink alcohol and how much? Do you smoke? When are you smoking? Note the times. How are you feeling? Also, keep track of how much you're sleeping. Along with that, and along with cataloging your diet, monitor your sugar and salt. Be honest with yourself, because the only person, if you lie about what you're eating, how much you're drinking, how much you're smoking, the only person that's hurting from that lie is you in the end. The doctor doesn't know for sure, but you do. So if you lie, you're only hurting yourself. So, what does breakfast, a typical breakfast, look like for you right now? Is it bacon, eggs, buttered toast, coffee with creamer and sugar? Is it grits and butter with salt and pepper? If that's your breakfast, you've already consumed at least 4 different animal products in just one meal. That's your breakfast, not to mention the salt in the toast, in the butter, in the grits, in the eggs, because you're going to season them, in the bacon, in the sausage, not to mention the salt content that you'll encounter there, in addition to the sugar in the coffee and the creamer, and, if you put sugar in your grits. Then what does lunch look like for you? Is lunch a sandwich, a typical lunch meat sandwich? So, lunch meat is one of the worst foods that you could eat if you have any sort of indication that there is an issue in your body. Really, if you're full blown healthy, lunch meat is the quickest way to get yourself not full blown healthy. So I don't recommend it for anybody. I honestly don't. So lunch meat is loaded with salt and loaded with preservatives and like nitrites and nitrates and different types of sodium that just not only do trouble to your heart and your kidneys, they can actually increase your risk of cancer, all kinds of cancers. Now, then you turn to your dinner, which normally for us, especially Americans, dinner is the richest, heaviest meal that we have for the day. And there are chances that your dinner is going to have, your meat, your protein from the meat, and then you're going to have your mashed potatoes with butter and milk, or for example. But you have to be honest with yourself. How many times am I consuming animals in a day, in a week? What am I putting in with them that I'm consuming with them? And then look where you can make changes. So, for example, for breakfast, instead of having a plate of bacon, eggs, and cheese and so forth, switch breakfast up for a kale shake. You could do something like kale, apples, mango, and hemp seed, for example, and maybe some water or coconut milk to mix it up, and it's delicious. For one, you're getting iron, you're getting protein, you're getting fiber, you're getting vitamins and minerals that are otherwise depleted from the standard American diet. So that's one switch you can start making to pare down the amount of animal products that you're eating during a day. Additionally, you could add sea veggies to it, such as kelp and bladderwrack, to get you some more mineral content that you're not going to get from the fruits and vegetables, and just really give your body the fuel it needs. If we go back to that car analogy, to keep going, you're giving your body what it needs to actually repair. For lunch, you could trade off your lunch. You could even trade off your dinner for a nice, healthy salad. And when I say healthy salad, you want to watch the stuff you're adding onto it. Dressings tend to be high in sodium and sugar, in fat. And then we do other things in American salad. We add cheese, we add meat, we add croutons, and there's barely any lettuce to be seen. So you want to watch how you're actually building your salad, so you don't turn something that could have been healthy into something that no longer is healthy. Dinner, you can look to replace your standard meat and vegetable and starch plates with something that is, a meat replacement, like, for example, mushrooms. You can use mushrooms to replace meat in your diet, and you use all the same, pretty much all the same seasonings, and get the same flavor that you would look for in chicken, which is all in your flavoring. It's all in your seasoning. It's not in the actual meat itself. It's in how you prepare it. So you should look for, to start the healing, you should look at how many times am I drinking during a week? And I know 2020 and 2021 really were tough years. And some people unfortunately turn to substance for relief from the stress and relief from, reality really, that of what was going on. But how often are you actually seeking relief from that? And what else can you do? What else can you do instead of drinking alcohol to really start to deal with the issues of the stress and the issues of the sadness and so forth that you're feeling? There is getting your body moving, which is another indicator for risk of heart disease. You could get your body moving. You could pray, for example. You could attend a virtual prayer group. I know we're not allowed to really meet up in person as much, but you can reach out to a counselor. You could reach out to a church member. You could reach out to your friends and your family to pray for you, talk to you, to have some sort of interaction where you don't have to turn to alcohol to relieve yourself. You could even start a new hobby. For example, I started beading and I found out I liked it. I generally like working with my hands. So, but working with my hands before meant cooking, and cooking means eating, which is a problem. So, instead of cooking, I decided to work with my hands and do beading. And I've made a couple, like, African belly beads. I've made a couple of bracelets for little kids and so forth. And it keeps my mind occupied and my hands occupied for the time being while I'm making it. And you do de-stress because you have to focus and get those tiny little beads on the strand. So find something that you can learn, you can enjoy doing, and you can relax a little, because stress is one of the biggest issues with heart disease forming in the body. You have to find an outlet for your stress, and that outlet should not be alcohol, tobacco, or drugs, because that's just going to, while you get the temporary I feel better, on the inside you're doing more damage than just your diet alone is doing, than just a sedentary life is doing. So you need to find ways to, like, outwardly express this without taking more toxin into your body. So increasing your water intake is next, and being honest about how much water you have each day, every day. Find a bottle, preferably glass instead of plastic. Find a glass bottle that'll help you monitor the amount that you're taking in and really step up the amount of water that you're having. And if you follow me at all on Facebook, or if you're in the Dr. CB Teachings for Christians group, then you know that I recently posted about coconut water. I find it's the best tasting water like there is ever, ever, ever. But when I say coconut water, I mean fresh out the coconut, not the bottled coconut waters, the packaged coconut waters. If you have not been, you need to start reading labels, because you find that you're consuming more than what the actual coconut will give you. For example, for coconut water, you'll be consuming more salt, more preservatives, more sugars than you would just get from the coconut alone. And with that, you get fiber, you get from the fresh coconut juice, you get fiber, you get minerals, you get this wonderful taste. If you've never had it, I honestly think it's the best water you could ever have. And all the other water I had ever in my life is lies. But that fresh coconut is the best thing for you. So monitor your water intake, and really step your game up to get what your body needs, because you are going to help your heart pump this blood around your body if it's not fighting dehydration on top of the issues that you have with, blood pressure and so forth. So, and in addition, sleep. You must get rest. I know there is, or there was at least a saying when I was younger that, I'll sleep when I'm dead and so forth. And you got to maximize the number of hours in a day that you use. However, sleep is repair time for your body. It is repair time for your body to do what it has to do. Your sleep, you're not stressing. Your sleep, you're not worried about anything. You are sleep, unless you have a nightmare, but you're asleep. And during that time, your heart can do what it has to do around the body. Your kidneys can do what they have to do towards cleaning the body. You want to make sure that you're monitoring how much sleep you are getting and trying to get yourself to bed earlier each night and trying to create an environment that's relaxing, that you can really take yourself, the day's gone, it's washed off. If you have to take a shower, do that. And the lights are low, the TV's off, you're reading, maybe you're listening to some relaxing music as you're getting to bed, but get yourself a routine that helps your body really diffuse and really come down off of the stress and so forth of the day and get your rest. Your heart needs it, your body needs it. It doesn't matter if you grind literally 24/7, if at the end of 7 you're dead because you're not sleeping, you're not taking care of yourself. So while you're worried about your goals, your career goals, your wallet and so forth, you also need to take care of you, or you won't be around to see the fruit of your labor. So sleep is pivotal to healing the body, recovering for the body, especially the heart, especially the brain. Get your rest. And I really feel like, yep, that's it. We covered moving, but also with moving, I do want to cover a little bit more about that, because when doctors tell you to move, or you go to a gym or whatever, there's this idea that you have to like really hit the ground running, hit the ground hard. Listen, if you have not been exercising for years, that is the last thing you want to do. You have got to ease into it. Moving is as simple as going for a walk. It's as simple as just starting with going for a walk and being consistent with going for a walk. That's also going to help you de-stress too. And then as you get used to walking, you can add more activity on. Do you like dancing? Add some dancing onto it. If you like stretching, add yourself some yoga onto it. Get yourself a little bit of weights. And while you're sitting, at your desk, you could, while you're working, get yourself a little bit of weights, but get your body in motion. All of these things together, your diet, sleeping, eliminating alcohol, eliminating tobacco, and getting your body moving is going to greatly impact not just your heart health, but your overall health. And that's all I have for you today. If anyone has any questions at all, Rashonda, I really appreciate you attending.
I have a boatload of questions. Yay! One of the questions I have is, how does someone contact you if they are interested in working with you?
I am on Facebook. I will get my page up and running, my actual business page, but I'm on Facebook as Courtney Jackson. I can be messaged. I have Facebook Messenger as well. You can contact me if you have any questions, if there's stuff you don't want to talk about in public, which I really don't recommend anyway, because, people and their opinions. So you can reach me on Facebook, message me, and we can have a chat.
Okay. And so I absolutely learned so much from the presentation. And so what does someone need to do if they have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, or any of those things that AFib or any of those other heart issues? What do they need to do? What are the stepping stones? Because I think that's where people really get so discombobulated from, is where do they start?
The first thing to do really is to take the diagnosis seriously. One thing that we tend to do, especially older, us older Black folks, is no, I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming that. In the name of Jesus, I don't have it. But Jesus didn't tell you to eat all that food you ate. Jesus didn't tell you to eat all them pork chops and all that bacon and all them shrimps and things. Jesus didn't tell you to do that, did he? But you did. So for every consequence, every action, there's a consequence, whether it's a positive or a negative. So be honest with yourself. Okay, the doctor said this is what's going on inside me right now. Then the next step is to take a hard look at how we got here. A lot of people like to say, it's hereditary. Oh, my daddy had, high blood pressure. And, to be real, my father passed away from heart issues. He passed away from heart issues. And that's what led me to try to figure out, okay, what's going on? What's going on? My dad had multiple heart surgeries. He had valves replaced. He had high blood pressure. And like working with Stephanie, for example, and going through her master herbalism program, I found out they had my dad on every single class of blood pressure medicine. Every single one, multiples of some of them. And it's about being honest. What's hereditary? Is the condition hereditary or is the diet hereditary? It's the diet. Was I eating like my dad? Or like we share some DNA, but we don't share everything. So that's how you can have some people in your family that are big and some people who are small, because big isn't hereditary. It's the lifestyle that is. So you need to be honest with yourself on how you got there. And then instead of trying to go headstrong into, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, you need to take small steps. You didn't get heart disease, you didn't get high blood pressure, you didn't get AFib overnight. You're not going to get rid of them overnight. You need to take small, manageable steps towards your healing. Because if you're consistent in those steps, you'll have results versus trying to go hard on it for 2 weeks and not seeing anything and giving up because you're tired, because you're exhausted. So look at what you can change. What do I have access to? Okay, the doctor said I have to take this medication for a while. My goal is to get off the medication. How am I going to do that? I'm going to change my diet. Let's start with breakfast. Let's start with how much I drink water in a day. Let's start, instead of, trying to run a marathon and a 5K, because I'm not there. I'm not there at all. Let's start with just moving a little bit and keep going and monitor. Look for your body to start giving you signs that it's working. Did you have swollen feet and ankles and now you have ankles? That's a sign. We get some work done there. Look for your body to give you signs, instead of, because you may still see high blood pressure at the doctor, but are you feeling better? Are you able to breathe doing normal activities and not, you don't have to, huff your breath so much and catch your breath so much. Look for your body to give you signs that, hey, what you're doing is working. It's working. That would be next. And then just to keep going with what you're doing, and contact a master herbalist, because you need to get up off them pharmaceuticals and you need to get to the root of what is causing your issues in your body. And that would be by cleansing. And I'm going to put it out here and it'll be on recording forever. You cannot cleanse your body in 7 days. You cannot clean you can't even efficiently clean your whole colon in 7 days. So if anybody says, I got this cleanse in 21 days, you'll be a brand new person. Nope. Nope, that's not happening. So make sure you get with somebody that actually understands the body and works on cleaning the various systems in the body and systematically.
That's right. The brother Malcolm, he was trying to warn people, you've been lied to.
Right.
You've been hoodwinked. Okay, so we definitely know that you ain't cleaning your whole body in 7 days unless you're ready to die, because toxicity couldn't even go into your blood and come out of your body in 7 days without your heart going into pure shock and you dying. So let's just keep it real.
Right.
It takes a good year or more to detox your whole body.
And that's
You know,
depending on the conditions that you're facing and how far out you are. So there are a lot of different, little indicators on how long it's going to take you to really get your healing. The biggest one is your own discipline. That's the biggest
right.
one.
That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Court, do you think that you'll be starting any type of healing group soon? I think those are really effective.
I'd like to. I'd definitely like to. I was going to ask you about shadowing. I know you had one high blood pressure group in particular, shadowing your group. I know they had just great success cleaning out their bodies and reversing conditions. People are reversing high blood pressure. So I want to be a part of that success and also start working it out myself.
High blood pressure is one of the most easiest things to reverse once you get your body in a rhythm. So yes, it is about consistency. Your organs want consistency. They want you to eat the same foods every day that are nutritionally beneficial. Do the same type of activities every day. And your body loves patterns. That's one thing I've learned, that your body loves patterns. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, then your body will want you to go to bed at 10 o'clock every night. So, my goodness, my body is in a rhythm. It will wake me up at 5:30 every morning to eliminate. My body has been doing that for years. 5:30, I automatically know what time it is. I get up at 5:30, go use the bathroom, and then come back and go to sleep. That is like my every day.
Another thing that you just brought to mind for me, and especially for people who are trying to get to starting this thing, is that if you trip up, you fall a little bit,
Yes.
don't go falling off the cliff. Like, you can trip up and fall, but catch yourself. Catch yourself while you're stumbling. We're all people. It happens. Catch yourself and keep going. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your body wasn't damaged in a day, and it's not going to be healed in a day either. But you're worth it. You're worth the effort. You're worth the time. You're worth the energy that it's going to take you to get there. So with the convenience meals and stuff that are loaded with salt and everything, say to yourself, I'm worth chopping a couple vegetables for myself. I'm worth it. I'm worth mixing up a smoothie for myself. I'm worth it. I'm going to get more energy in return from putting energy into preparing for myself. You can't call yourself kings and queens out there and you out here eating peasant food. Okay? So treat yourself like a king or a queen if you really believe it. You're worth the time. You're worth the effort. You're worth the energy.
That is right. I am just so excited that we had this teaching today. It was really informative. Rashonda, did you have any questions before we close?
No, I think she did a wonderful, wonderful job with explaining everything. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, we are going to close, guys. And remember that if you would like to contact Courtney, she is on Facebook under Courtney Jackson. I believe her picture. No, your picture's not up there. Your daughter's
It's my
picture is.
daughter. I gotta
You'll
change
see a
it.
little girl. You'll see a little girl. So don't look for Courtney's face on the Facebook. I know that's typically what people look for when they're looking at their names. So you'll see a little girl on the Facebook cover photo. That'll be Courtney. And you can inbox her, to talk to her one-on-one. And if you had any further questions or you can't find her on Facebook, just reach out to me and I can always ping you guys together. Okay.
You can
All
also,
right, guys. Until next time, you guys have a blessed and prosperous day.